applauds Parliament for passing the bill against homosexuality. Good evening once again and welcome to UBC News Tonight. President Museveni has reiterated the importance of advocating for free education in all public schools, highlighting that the continuous introduction of charges has led to many learners being pushed out of school. These learners, he noted, are later rescued by the presidential zonal skilling centers, though at a higher cost. Museveni made these remarks during a public gathering in Mbale City this Thursday as part of his wealth creation visit to the Bugesu sub-region, where he called for collective support towards free education.
Mbale City was lit by yellow as Bugesu sub-region graced the third day of the presidential wealth creation visit. This was chaired by ministers led by Chief Whip Dennis Hamson Obua, Barambaro Gahara Atenyi, Evelyn Anite, among others. The procession from Mbale City to Malunko grounds was an exciting one as the sub-region gathered for the day's business. A few minutes past 2 p.m. of Thursday, 19th December 2024, the gathering was joined by the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. His arrival was followed by the anthems and prayers.
We ask you to bless our President.
The plan is to get your people out of poverty. And this is not a new message. You have been on course. Even in 1995, you traversed the whole country to work your people out of poverty.
For others, including the Vice President of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Alupo addressed the gathering before inviting the President.
And all the SEC members present, Your Royal Highness, Kumukuka.
Museveni still talks ill about those suffocating government programs aimed at uplifting the country.
We introduced Bonaba Some. Education for all. It was not well implemented. We have put money there, but people are still charging money from students. And that's why many children are dropping out of school. But you support my line so that the head teachers and the Parents Association stop collecting money from children, from students.
He emphasizes that the continued introduction of judges in government schools has kept many learners away from the education centers, only to be saved by the zonal presidential skilling hubs.
This is because the children are coming from far. I need to accommodate them and feed them and lodge them and all that. In the UPE, the schools were supposed to be day. You go from home, study, go back, so that there is no cost of boarding, no cost of eating, no cost of sleeping and all that. So it is really a big mistake to fail to implement UPE. All those children you see there, whom I am picking up under skilling centers, had dropped out of, and all of them had dropped out of school because of the school fees. So therefore, you talk with your leaders and we solve the problem of free education in government schools so that the children study free without cost.
To those who have benefited from the PDM funds, yet they don't qualify, Museveni orders them to refund the money immediately.
I have discovered that there are people who are not qualified for PDM, who are the Bagaga, civil servants. The ones who are not supposed to get money but to get it should pay it back. Should pay it back immediately.
Museveni further discourages the continued sheltering of communities in rescue areas such as mountains.
God did not plan for people to stay in the steep areas. He wanted it to be for another purpose, for forest, for water, for other work, not for human settlement. So We told you long ago that this is very dangerous, but some politicians were playing around with it. Now we have seen how many people we have lost. In Namezi, I went there. Now Bulambuli.
However, on a humanitarian note, he promises to aid the relocation process.
But I'm glad people now, after seeing people who died, they now want to run away, to move away. And we are going to provide all the money to help you get away.
Movement.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Leaders from Bugisu sub-region have been told to desist from political bickering in order for government programs to succeed. Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, insists on political unity as a basis for effective service delivery. Now, this was in Mbale shortly after the president addressed a public rally in Mulago, where Captain Mike Mukula called for cooperation in implementing government programs. We have more.
This was the mood at Mulago grounds in Mbale as leaders prepared to receive the president at a public rally. They gathered in their hundreds of numbers at various levels, filled with anxiety. But behind the anxiety lay an invisible weevil of political bickering.
The political temperatures are beginning to rise, given that next year is 2025, when we shall be having elections for party structures, as well as electing flag bearers for different positions to prepare for 2026, when we shall have general elections.
This, unfortunately, affects the effective implementation of government programs.
We are focusing on the implementation of the manifesto. Our priority now is ensuring that programs like PDM, Emyoga, and other wealth creation interventions become successful. So people should not go into cheap politicking and bickering.
The big picture, which has been captured by PDM, should not be undermined by political bickering. It should also not be undermined by corruption of those people who are trying to take away part of the money.
These concerns coming at a time the president is traversing the country to spread the gospel of wealth creation. This requires leaders to be united.
The youth leaders must now actively go in the field and inform people, parish per parish, village per village, probably even household by household. We need the youth severely involved or seriously involved in the action of appreciating government programs.
I think the narrative here is that we are going to come together, crystallize, whether it is on a political or ideological divide. What we need to do is grow the economies of our people, household incomes, and this will be a mass effect.
As for the parish development model, whose progress the president has been assessing in eastern Uganda, it is so far so good.
What I can tell those who got it erroneously, that please, now that the president has sounded a warning, whoever took the money and yet was not supposed to be given, please take care.
So it has been a very interactive session, and we encourage that as the president moves to other regions, those in those regions should also make sure they prepare effectively.
The president's gospel of wealth creation continues with focus being on the PDM and the 4-acre model. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, President Museveni has directed all people living in mountainous areas of Masabaland to vacate in order to save their lives from landslides. Speaking to the media at Moni State Lodge in Mbale City, the president expressed concern over the increasing occurrence of disasters, which he attributed to poor agricultural practices by locals who persistently degrade the environment by cutting down trees for firewood, timber and other uses. Now, according to the President, all people living in mountain forests should vacate to allow the government to conserve these areas and mitigate the effects of climate change.
Now, I remember I used to have a lot of arguments with the people here who were talking, you know, the Bagisu must go to the mountain, to the forest, to get Malewa, because they have been doing it for a long time, so you can't stop them. When we were trying to tell them about the national park, the forest, please, leave this forest, leave the park. Now they talk that the history, people have been going to the mountain. But people were going to the mountain when the population was small. Population was small. You can see the population of Bugisu, even at independence. It may be like 400,000 or something. Now, the population has increased. And we can no longer go to that forest because we are many. And yet we need the forest because the forest is our water tap. Kametsi, all the Kametsi comes from there. The rain is trapped there. All these rivers, Manafa, this one, they all come from there. So therefore, those people who are pushing, who are not respecting the conservation of the mountains, we are really unknowingly enemies of our people here. And we try to tell them, but it didn't take long, then people started dying. Nametsi, I went there, Nametsi. I climbed up to that place. And we said, please, you people, you come down. So you are right here. When people were ready to come down, the government should move fast, should not waste time. So we have now met in the cabinet and agreed that, of course, there are so many things to do. This one here, so many needs. But because people are ready to move, we are now going to do everything possible to resettle them. Resettle those who have land, like if I buy some land, for the ones of Bududa, Bulamburi, but even the question of the urbanization. Give us money so that the economy of the area is used properly.
Now, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, has encouraged Ugandans in diaspora to invest more of their money into Uganda. The Premier, who is also Kakumira Woman Member of Parliament, says the country is now peaceful with all favorable environments to invest. Nabanja was today addressing Ugandans living abroad who are currently in Uganda for the festive season.
Every end of the year, some Ugandans living abroad return to join their families in celebrating Christmas and the New Year. The survey conducted by the Ministry of Finance in 2023 indicates that Ugandans in diaspora remit over $1.4 billion.
The diaspora and such sector, which plays an important role through its continuing increase of remittances, which have boosted our economy as well as contribute to building our social web.
While addressing Ugandans in diaspora in Kampala, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, urged them to invest more of their money into Uganda.
We are told you invest here more than what you invest in other parts of the world. Please invest more. Muyongere kuleta wano sente. I appreciate the contribution once again to the development of our country through your remittances, foreign direct investment, trade promotion, and more.
The Premier says the President has created a favorable environment that allows them to invest safely.
There is peace and stability across the country. And to me, this is fundamental because without peace and stability, individuals, families, and companies cannot produce goods
She highlighted the developments the country has made over the years that have made Uganda a favorable tourist destination.
We have done major projects across the country. Major projects. Those of you who have been coming here regularly, you know that Uganda is connected on tarmac roads from north to south, east to west. We are currently undertaking the standard gauge railway. We are going to connect Uganda to Kenya. And we have also signed a contract with a contractor. 68% of Ugandans were poor people. That has reduced to 33 as I speak now.
However, Ugandans diaspora are not happy about some government officials whenever they want to seek government services.
But what I've realized, Right Honorable, that if we are going abroad, like if I'm inviting these agencies to go abroad and participate in workshops abroad, my Right Honorable, they look for me. Even those whom I don't want, they look for me. They even add on people that unnecessarily I don't need. The big people who want to attend the workshops. When they get abroad, it is so hard to bring them from their rooms to come and address the diaspora.
Well, dual citizen. Or citizen
The Prime Minister handed over a certificate of dual citizenship that guarantees a Ugandan citizenship to another country.
Okufuna obutuuze eyo gye muli ewalala. Eyo yonna byonna bitubikoleddwa NRM government.
Meanwhile, the UN resident coordinator in Uganda, Renard Zulu, today paid a courtesy call to the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, at our offices in Kampala.
I reiterate government's commitment to fostering partnership with the United Nations in Uganda that drives socio-economic transformation.
Zulu pledged the UN commitment towards the support of refugees in Uganda, among other development needs of Ugandans.
That it's my intention to strengthen humanitarian response and support to government. I'm from a humanitarian background.
Now, the Minister for the Presidency, Honorable Babidi Emili Babalanda, has issued a stern warning to resident district commissioners, RDCs, and resident city commissioners, RCCs, against misusing their authority. Speaking at the conclusion of a 3-day capacity building workshop for RDCs, RCCs, and internal security officials from Teso and Sebe sub-regions, the minister highlighted a recent incident in Katakwi where an RDC unlawfully ordered the imprisonment of Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited staff. She urged all RDCs and RCCs to exercise their powers responsibly and to uphold the rule of law. The workshop aimed to enhance the capacity of local leaders in addressing security challenges and promoting good governance.
As RDC, you are not police. If there is need for arresting suspects, RDCs must use the police rather than give misleading orders. I ask that as RDCs, you should not misuse your office and mandate. RDCs are supervised and they get orders from His Excellency, the President. Myself, your immediate supervisor, the Secretary Office of the President, and the head RDC Secretariat. RDCs are not supervised, and neither do they receive orders from politicians. You are bound to make costly mistakes when you take this route. This particular RDC is under investigation. And if it is confirmed that there was wrongful action, he will appear before the Rewards and Sanctions Committee of the Presidency. As Office of the President, we are champions of a corruptive-free country. We do not work with corrupt staff. If you are caught red-handed, no one will defend you. You will be individually subjected to the full course of the law, just like any other Ugandan.
To RDCs is that they have got the prime responsibility of making sure that issues of economic empowerment in their areas of this jurisdiction are given the attention that they deserve, so that we can be in a position to eradicate poverty from these areas, so that we can be able to create employment for the young people.
Members of the 11th Parliament have been commended for passing the anti-homosexuality bill, which addresses what has been described as an inhumane secular practice that has spread in some countries around the world. While presiding over the end-of-year Thanksgiving prayers at Parliament, the retired Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, His Grace Henry Luke Orombi, expressed his praise, saying that no matter the efforts of those promoting this vice, the Ugandan Parliament stood its ground and passed the law which he described as vital to the fibre of family life.
Us. They have called us all kinds of names for passing a law that is helping our children.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, initiated the first ever end-of-year prayers and Thanksgiving as the year comes to a close. The prayers were an opportunity for the institution to thank God for how far they have come and to repent for any wrongs committed. The retired Bishop of the Church of Uganda, His Grace Henry Luke Orombi, emphasized that as leaders, members of Parliament need to humble themselves before God, for when they walk rightly with Him, their followers will benefit. He also attributed the rampant violence in the country to disobedience. Retired Archbishop Orombi remarked that actions like stealing and robbing, which some leaders call corruption, indicate that people's consciences are dead.
The offices, you are being robbed. You're a young woman who wants a job. You're going to be misused and violated for the sake of jobs. People are stealing. You're calling it corruption? That's a diplomatic word. It is stealing and robbery. God has seen that and God is disappointed.
Archbishop Orombi also highlighted secular activities like abortion and homosexuality, which he believes are eroding Uganda's moral fabric. He thanked the 11th Parliament for passing the bill against homosexuality.
Passing that bill. We believe very strongly that Uganda, no matter what they do to you, Madam Speaker, doesn't matter God. You stood your ground. You have decided you will want to stand there. You may not go to other countries, but there are many beautiful places here in Uganda.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, reflected on the work of the institution and the need for repentance for any wrongs committed, especially in light of significant loss of members. She emphasized that the work of the legislature can be complex and that certain bills, when passed into law, may hurt some people.
When we do legislation, it may not go well with some other people, and we want to ask for forgiveness from those people whom we could have hurt in one way or the other. Like Archbishop, we made laws for humanity. We made a law against homosexuality.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taibwa, praised the resilience of Right Honourable Anita Mong and noted that through her commitment and collective efforts of Parliament, significant progress has been made for the people.
I commend you for your unwavering dedication to the service of our country and the institution of Parliament. I hope all of us will know that we have prayed for wisdom and strength as we prepare to face a new year.
Members of the 11th Parliament have been urged to promote harmony and unity in the country as they continue to work for development. I'm Navka Farid and Gloria Guitabinji at
The Directorate of Traffic Police has enhanced its visibility on major highways to combat traffic indiscipline and minimize crashes during this year's festive season. Traffic Police spokesperson Michael Kananura reiterated the intention to reduce the number of crashes compared to previous festive seasons. UBC has visited various highways for updates.
While inspecting ongoing traffic operations on major highways, Traffic Police spokesperson Michael Kananura cautioned motorists about crashes that occur while drivers attempt to avoid checkpoints.
Some people also now are dodging these checkpoints, which is very dangerous, and that's why we always call upon other people that please, road safety is everyone's responsibility. Everyone has a role to play. If you are a passenger in a vehicle, if you are a pedestrian, if you are a driver, please, you have a role to play. So you don't have to just sit and look on as a driver is dodging the checkpoint of traffic because he does not have a permit, because he's loading excess. You are risking your lives. So please let us all speak up to ensure that we are safe on the road.
The increased visibility of traffic officers and enhanced operations on major roads aim to minimize road crashes during this festive season.
The highways, there is enough deployment, and they're basically looking at those things that normally cause crashes in this season. We are tough on bus drivers.
Kananura pointed out the major causes for these operations include speeding, reckless driving, and dangerous overtaking, among others.
Like loading excess and many other things that we are looking at, speeding and many others, to ensure that really people are safe. Because we know some of the vices that normally crop up in this season, it's what we are trying to see, how best to handle to ensure that people are safe.
At Matuga checkpoint, a taxi driver rammed into another car while trying to dodge the checkpoint, which paralyzed the traffic flow for some time. All motorists and vehicle owners urged to repair their vehicles and strictly observe traffic rules to save lives.
Tires, no wipers, and all that. Lights are not functioning properly. Please don't risk your life to get to the road as you wait to be seen by traffic officers. Work on your vehicle before you start the road. So these things are very major. Those who are not used to driving long distances or highways, don't risk your lives. I've been driving 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, work to home, and you want to hit a road of 300 kilometers, it's very risky.
Traffic police continue to enforce road safety standard operating procedures, where deviant motorists are arrested, vehicles and motorcycles impounded, and EPS ticket issued. Some offenders are taken to court as a deterrent against traffic offences. Abdunasil Lubwama for UBC.
Winning requires muscles tougher than concrete. But when you shop with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN, and pay. Congratulations! You have finished shopping and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis, and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mold Technologies, your professional research firm.
Welcome back from that break. Now in more news, a fire has destroyed millions worth of property, including 14 vehicles and a motor garage in Mulago, Kubiri. According to locals, the fire was started by angry SACCO members who were dissatisfied after learning that their chairperson, Ruth Nakakawa, had disappeared with their savings meant for Christmas distribution.
Deadly spread from Nakakawa's house to nearby structures, including a motor garage and a carpentry workshop.
egezezza okukola omulimu gwayo batuuse mu budde ne bataasa ebirinaanyeewo naye nga wuwa ne tubasobodde kutaakiriza
era ebintu by'abantu ebyagiriddeko bingi kubanga wagiriddeko motoka 14 nga mulimu neya gavumenti eya state house eyabaddeko awo ngeze ku kisago teekamu erangi wagiriddemu abasajja n'abakyala ababadde batungirawo emiko y'entebe ebiharani byabadde nga 8 wabaddeko bwa restaurant wabaddeko store eyabaddemu emifalaso eyaleese obuzibu n'omuliro okukola ki okugumuka nnyo.
Police confirmed the arson incident and have arrested the SACCO chairperson Ruth Nakakawa while continuing to investigate other suspects involved in starting the fire.
Death has been registered, but investigations are on. What we are currently looking at is the allegation of Arson. The allegation that some members yesterday were sharing end of year SACCO money, and I'm told that the money was not enough. There are some voices that came out showing dissatisfaction, and some of them went away making serious warnings of the actions they will be taking. Some, of course, the actions they alleged were to bring the matter to authorities, but some left the statement hanging. So this, of course, has caused suspicion among the people that have lost their property. And we understand one of the person, one Nakakawa, Asenga Nakakawa, was the target of a mob today. And members of the public, specifically those that have lost their property, had targeted her, alleging that she could have been the one behind the fire. With that, we managed to rescue her. She's with us in our custody at Wandegea. We are going to expand our inquiries. Investigation is open and looking to those that.
At Mulago Kubiri area chairman Juma Kauma stated that the fire started early in the morning following a dispute among SACCO members who were upset after Nakakawa announced that some funds would only be distributed in January 2025 instead of at the end of the year as expected.
Era muku nenzija ne twogerako nabo ne balabika nga abakoze eki abakkakkanya bwe navuddewo nti omukyalo oyo kyateekawo ekifo ekyo oluusi Nakakawa n'alondamu abamu n'abasasula ssente abalala n'abakolaki n'abalekawo n'alonda wadde balinamu ssente nnyingi n'abasasulamu era zabadde essaawa 5 ez'ekiro omukyalo oyo omwoyo n'ankubira essimu n'aŋŋamba kiyamaanyi abantu beekalakaasa wano baagala okukola ki okuntemu jakonzi naŋŋamba nti anti ngabiddeko ssente alakonzi okoze bubi tewandironzeemu bantu bagabirako ng'ate waliwo obwetaavu ensindikawo difensi wange difensi naŋŋamba abakkakkanyiza bali bulungi ne mugamba njakeerawo ku makya kubewawo olukiiko zibadde essaawa 10 ez'ekiro era nenfuna essimu okuva wa defense naŋŋamba wano oba bannakakaawa tubatugibwa nakaawa wonna wakutta omuliro
abantu bali afumba wadde amasanyalaze gatebadde tebiriimu naye kintu ekyalwabuddeko sente omuntu abadde azitereka yaleese obuzibu yaddidde abanene n'abawa n'atagwa baana bana abakyala babonaabona okuva wansi yatebyanyi badde asookerako naddala akati abaana abo bakoze olutalo kutandika busabuza olweggulo bonna babanja sente zaabwe yabuze ate mulineemu naye ekirungi ali mikono gya poliisi.
Arson is a criminal offense under Section 335 of the Penal Code Act, and the police are continuing their investigation into the matter. Susan Nabugudde, Daniel Lugemwa for UBC News.
In a landmark effort to revolutionize Uganda's agriculture sector, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has launched an interest-free loan scheme targeting private large-scale commercial farmers. The signing ceremony was held at the Commonwealth Resort, Munyonyo, marking a significant step towards boosting human food and animal feed security.
The new financing scheme is a timely response to a 2022 alert by the Ministry of Agriculture, warning of looming food and animal feed insecurity. Large-scale grain production often faces hurdles, including labor intensity, high costs of land preparation, seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation equipment. This scheme seeks to ease these burdens by providing timely, affordable, and accessible financial resources to farmers with 50 acres of land or more, who are growing maize, beans, soybeans, sorghum, and producing animal feeds.
So that's how we came up with our cry, presented it to Cabinet, and we insisted on no interest. I want to thank really finance, because they are our planners of economy, for appreciating this and giving us the money free of interest. We must thank them. I want to thank the gentleman who spoke here. The money is not for trading. It is for production. Because I know trading is enticing. You get much margins at trading than at production. So let's fund real production. Finally, from my IF, we pledge to share with the Ministry of Finance, so that they can share with the banks, the profiled large-scale commercial farmers district by district.
Qualified farmers can access these interest-free loans through Housing Finance Bank, Pride Microfinance, and Post Bank. The initial 6-year program will see these banks disperse a principal amount of Uganda shillings 176 billion.
Shares a financial mechanism to support private large-scale commercial farmers to produce 132,600 metric tons of maize, beans, soybeans, sorghum, and animal feeds on a total proposed acreage of 114,661 acres. This will be implemented by having government-owned financial institutions, Pride Microfinance, Post Bank, and Housing Finance, to provide a principal amount of shillings 176 billion, and the government of Uganda meeting the corresponding interest component of shillings 40 billion annually.
This initiative represents a critical shift in government's approach to agricultural financing, ensuring that large-scale farmers, often overlooked, now have the support they need to thrive.
Which is going to be gotten from a bank. That means the terms and conditions of the bank must be met. What we have done is to ensure that you don't now have the excuse of this money is expensive. We have removed the price of the money for the large farmers.
In the past decade, the government has invested over Uganda shillings 8.2 trillion in small and medium-sized enterprises, youth, women, among others. However, private large-scale commercial farmers had largely been left out. Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News. The Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Honorable Frank Tumwebaze,
has issued a stern directive to all agriculture officers and extension workers across the country, urging them to actively engage with farmers and provide them much-needed technical support to enhance agricultural productivity.
Minister Tumwewa has expressed concern over the limited presence and impact of extension workers, despite significant government investment in their wages and resources.
This is a message that is directly coming from the position of government. We are appealing to you to do your work with all seriousness. Please love your work. The farmers are crying. They wanted extension services. They want extension services.
Honorable Tumwewa has questioned why extension workers whose salaries were doubled remain ineffective in delivering on their mandate. He emphasized that there is no excuse for their absence on the ground.
We have empowered you. We have doubled your salaries at the sub-county level. You know that. The salary you were earning 2 years ago has now been doubled.
Minister Tumwewa has revealed that farmers are crying for guidance on enterprise selection, disease control, proper harvest handling, and livestock management.
Teach them how to control disease. Teach them how to do proper harvesting. Teach them SOPs of disease control and safety. Like now it's during Christmas. Guide the farmers on the kind of animals they should be slaughtering. When an animal, for example, is under treatment of antibiotics, it should not be milked. It should not be slaughtered, not until 14 days have elapsed from the last day of administering its treatment. This must come out. We have so many radios.
Basing on this, he has reminded all extension workers that they have a duty to reach out to all farmers, conduct farm visits, and ensure their services are both seen and felt in communities.
There is no excuse whatsoever for you not to be seen and felt on the farm, at the farm, and gather farmers, reach out to them, guide them. The farmers are crying. They wanted extension services. They want extension services. They want advice on enterprise selection. They want advice on disease and pest control. Do farm visits.
Additionally, cows have been asked to report sub-counties without extension workers so that necessary wage adjustments and recruitments can be prioritized.
Sub-counties without extension staff, with unfilled vacancies, please cows submit those requests to the Ministry of Local Government such that the wage can be provided and they recruit the agriculture extension staff. As the Ministry of Agriculture, I guarantee you, those without motorbikes, we shall prioritize you. In the next financial year, all sub-counties will have at minimum 2 motorcycles.
Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
The IGAD Center of Excellence for Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism has unveiled a groundbreaking checklist for media practitioners in its 9 member states, including Djibouti, Uganda, Kenya, and Ethiopia. Launched at the Pride in Paradise Convention Center in Mombasa City, Kenya, the checklist is designed to enhance responsible reporting on violent extremism across mainstream, alternative, and online platforms. The IGAD Executive Director, Dr. Wokne Gebeyehu, hailed Norway's support for this initiative, emphasizing its pivotal role in guiding media professionals to foster peace and reduce extremism through impactful storytelling.
The IGAD Center of Excellence for Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism, with support from the Government of Norway, has launched a transformative 10-point checklist for media practitioners in East and the Horn of Africa member countries. It aims to promote ethical and unbiased reporting on violent extremism while addressing challenges such as amplifying extremist narratives and spreading propaganda.
The checklist unveiled at the Pride in Paradise Convention Center in Mombasa, Kenya, was presided over by IGAD's executive director.
Our community needs the service of the media. Our voices should be not only the negative voice that prevail, also the positive voices that reach out to the community. We have a lot of things that bring us together. So, as a regional organization, we feel that there are a lot of things that are coming that separate us.
Dr. Simon Nyambura, director of the center, emphasized that the checklist will guide journalists in balancing accurate reporting with the responsibility of preventing harmful narratives.
Now, the Uganda government has called on its sister countries such as Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo to treat the recent social media posts by Uganda's Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, as a personal opinion and jokes which necessarily mean nothing to their coexistence. Now, UBC's Robert Onyango talked to Dr. Chris Badiomunsi, and here's what he had to say about the matter.
Well, regarding the comments attributed to General Muhoozi, the CDF, on DRC and Sudan, those are comments made on social media, casually, privately, and not the official position of the UPDF or Ministry of Defense or government of Uganda. So they should be treated as the casual comments, if at all he made them, and therefore there should be no anxiety at all about those comments, both within the country and even our friends outside Uganda. So they shouldn't be treated as an official position of the government of Uganda.
All right, UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with more stories after these messages.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Prestige Driving School, with over 20 years of driving training experiences and with more than 40 branches across Uganda. Licensed by the Ministry of Works and Transport and the only ISO certified driving school in the country. Offers fresh learner driving training, advanced driver training, defensive driving, and more. Enroll and become a professional driver. Prestige Driving School.
Affordable, professional, and safe.
There is myths that so many of you live by. If your eye is twitching, it means you're going to see someone you like. If it shines and rains at the same time, it means a leopard is giving birth. If your hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. If you see an owl, it means somebody's gonna die. If you hear of a disease outbreak, just know it is in a village district at the border next to some suspicious country. You will want to scratch that last myth because Mpox is in 19 districts and Kampala is among with dozens of cases. Please stop going around checking anyone's hand. Mpox kills. Protect your loved ones.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Welcome back from that break. We're glad that you're still with us. Now into business. MTN Uganda has unveiled a second set of 25 impactful community-driven projects across the country. These are set to receive funding for various projects focusing on sectors like education, health, environmental conservation, and youth empowerment.
The announcement of the Changemakers Initiative Phase 2 was celebrated during a special event which also included a Christmas fete to celebrate the spirit of joy and gratitude.
But specifically to this day, here at Makerere Chikoni, we are at a Blessed Child Foundation's home. This is a children's home that provides support to children who are undergoing treatment for cancer, either by providing them with bereavement support or providing them with the care that is required as they get their treatment. In this place, we've been able to see the children interact with them, see the living quarters where they are put up as they go through the treatment. And it's very interesting to see that in the 15 years of the existence of this organization, they've been able to touch 10,000 children who have come through their hands.
Unveiled last year while marking 25 years of MTN Uganda, the Changemakers Initiative is a commitment to supporting those deeply dedicated to making a significant impact in their communities.
Changemakers is a program that we started last year when we turned 25 years, where we seek to empower people who have dreams about transforming their communities. They have dreams about the changes that they can be able to bring, but they do not have enough resources. So we partner with them to be able to bring those dreams alive, so that they can be able to create an impact in the communities that they live in.
The program aims at empowering Ugandan communities by supporting impactful grassroots projects that drive positive change and sustainable development in line with MTN's Ambition 2025 strategy. All the projects under this initiative are conceived, planned and executed by the communities with the support from the MTN Foundation, which is sinking more than 500 million Uganda shillings.
So we have 500 million shillings that will be spread across 20 districts. The level of financial support is dependent on the project, but on average, each project will get about 20 to 25 million shillings, depending on the size and scale that the project is. So all this has been evaluated by our officers who have been on the ground. They've interacted with this project. That's how we've been able to sieve out the 25 from the over 2,000 proposals. And the whole objective is to make sure that we create impact in the communities where we are.
These 25 outstanding initiatives that were selected after a rigorous process represent a diverse range of sectors, including education, health, environment, and youth empowerment. The second phase of the Changemakers builds on the success of the initial phase, which saw 25 projects funded across 15 districts and impacting over 165,000 people. The selected projects will be in Kampala Central Region, Greater Central Region, Western Region, Northern Region, and Eastern Region.
The Namukekera Liaoshen Industrial Park in Kapeka hosted local and international investors during the Mindset Change and Business Discussion Tour 2024, an initiative aimed at showcasing lucrative investment and business opportunities in Uganda. The tour commenced with investors visiting various manufacturing industries within the park to observe operations and explore potential areas for investment.
The Mindset Change and Business Discussion Tour 2024 at Namunkekera Liao Shen Industrial Park, located in Kapeka, Nakaseke district, focused on tackling challenges faced by Uganda's business community and identifying key investment areas to drive the country's economic transformation from a third world to a second world economy.
The process starts from here, cutting, we do pattern, then cutting, then take up of production.
The visiting team toured several industries producing a wide range of products, including tiles, ceramics, diapers, clothing, shoes and bags.
We are here today at Kapeka industrial area to see what we can invest in. In Uganda we have a lot of opportunities, but what we need is to change our mindsets. We have visited different factories. I'm relating it with my future plans in investment.
The Namukenkera Industrial Park is a significant contributor to Uganda's economy, providing employment for over 3,500 youths out of a total workforce exceeding 15,000.
Today visitors, they were visiting the park. Now they have arrived here to Gokta, and they have visited and see the process, and they have liked it and promising to send some orders.
Spanning 2 square miles, the park is home to 18 operational processing plants with additional facilities under construction. The investors lauded the remarkable progress achieved at Namukenkera and expressed keen interest in seizing the investment opportunities available.
Many things we see them in hardwares, many are made from here. But people think that the best quality is from outside of the country. But this is not true. So people should change their mindset and start using local products.
Here it's a testing center. If the toilet is working well, if it's not, we break and recycle and produce another one that is working well. If it is working well, we package.
Many pledged to establish ventures within the industrial park, reflecting a promising outlook for future economic growth. The Mindset Change and Business Discussion Tour 2024 will proceed to Gulu City over the weekend, continuing its mission to promote investment and economic development across Uganda.
All right, now in more news in the business scene, vendors at the Kampala City Abattoir have expressed dissatisfaction with the leadership of the market masters under the Kampala Capital City Authority. The vendors argue that the leadership of the market should be entrusted to their own representatives rather than individuals appointed by KCCA.
The discontent culminated in a protest, prompting the resident city commissioner for Kampala, Nsubuga Shafik, to convene a meeting with the aggrieved vendors.
Obusubuzi buli bumu. Naye ensonga y'omuntu okujja nga market master akwate muno mukabi w'abasuubuzi ate yagala kumweddiza ng'ate president eno rufula yagiddiza abasuubuzi basobole okugiddukanya nga gavumenti bweyetereeza. Kyolabire sente ziri wano abasuubuzi bwe bazeegerekera tubagamba tuweeyo akasente kengana bwe kati tulwaninga ekifo kyaffe era ebbanga lyonna ekifo kino bwe kibaddewo tukola buli lunaku.
During the meeting, the vendors voiced their frustrations over the management of the abattoir, citing poor leadership, a lack of accountability, and the scarcity of essential resources like water.
The market master yajja mu kifo kino kikyankalanya. Tusanga tukola emirimu gyaffe, ng'era buli kimu kyonna tukyekolerako, tusasula amazzi, tusasula amasannyalaze, tulongoosa tukolera ku titivu zaffe nga elected president tulagira. Bazitulagira okwerongooseza ekifo kyaffe n'okusasula bye tukozesezza mu kimu kyonna. Then naye omukyalo ono bwe yajja yatulaga kwa directive za president ziragira market master kukwata ssente oba kusolooza ssente ku basuubuzi.
The vendors demanded that the current market master Hadija Nante be replaced with someone who, in their view, could better manage the abattoir and address their concerns. RCC Nsubga Shafik refrained from making a final decision during the meeting, leaving the matter unresolved.
President yawe ekiragiro ku nsonga ezikwata ku butale.
Okay. 1. The interim leadership committee in all government markets in Kampala are immediately disbanded, and KCCA will henceforth assume full administration of all government markets.
Obukiiko bwali buliwo obwekimpatiira mu kaseera ako oba bwali bugobererwa mu kaseera ako. President abuyimiriza era addiza obuyinza KCCA ng'ekitongole ekigenda okubanga kivunaana ku butale bwonna.
Hadija Nante, the current market master, defended her position, stating that the vendors were attempting to undermine the president's directive regarding the governance of markets. The vendors, however, remain dissatisfied and insist that the abattoir's leadership needs reform to address their challenges.
President Museveni, tukusaba osonga za lufula ozije ozikwasaganyemu kuba fa abafuba benyini abantu abasuubitwa emyokolaki okwekuuma otegeera emyokwatagana bano bagamba agende bano bakola kitegeera teri kunkwatagana.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
All right, and with that, our first edition has come to the end, but do join us at 10 o'clock for our second edition with more stories. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. We'll see you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The family of Mzee Erizefan Nabongo of Bukonte, Namutumba district, with deep sorrow announces the death of Mrs. Ruth Nabongo, beloved wife, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. The funeral service will be held at St. Stephen's Church of Uganda